Identifying and framing strategic issues. Learning objectives. At the end of the discussion, attendees will be able to define what is strategic issue and be able to identify and frame strategic issues. Good strategy takes more than just strong desire. Good strategy requires good input and analysis. It also requires good decision-making. That's what the exercise known as strategic issues is all about. Now, what is a strategic issue?
A strategic issue is, first of all, an issue, an unresolved question needing a decision or waiting for some clarifying future event. Secondly, it is strategic and has major impact on the course and direction of the organization. What are we going to sell? To whom are we going to sell it? How will we beat or avoid our competition? Strategic issues lie right at the heart of the business. Correspondingly, the process step dealing with strategic issues lies right at the heart of simplified strategic planning. 2. How should you identify strategic issues? Very few strategic issues come out of thin air. They are the products of hard digging. Next slides are a couple of simple, but effective, techniques that help identify potential strategic issues. Fully explain the concept of strategic issues before starting the review of information and challenge your team to think about the strategic implications of the information. Strongly urge each team member to highlight on the information worksheet key information that suggests a strategic issue and capture their thoughts on a pad of paper throughout the review.
Created using Powtoon.
How should you identify strategic issues? Simple techniques like these permit the process to be more time efficient and minimize the escape of key information from the scrutiny of the team. Potential strategic issues often surface during the review of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats, known in simplified strategic planning as capabilities assessment, perceived opportunities, perceived threats, or the winner's profile exercise. Sometimes potential strategic issues do not readily surface. Subsequent to the information review, each team member should be allowed time to formulate what they perceive to be the key issues. Recognizing that strategic issues are those significant and unresolved questions that must be dealt with before strategies can be fully articulated, each team member should review the notes they have made, the information they have highlighted, and those critical items highlighted on the team exercises. Identify the most critical subjects that the firm needs to address.
Created using Powtoon.
C. Frame a question that defines what it is about that subject that needs to be discussed. D. The next step is to capture the key strategic issues on a flip chart or other medium that can be easily viewed and shared with the entire team. Select an approach that balances the need for time efficiency and team participation. Strategic issues are typically somewhat unique from company to company. They will also change from year to year as some issues are totally resolved and new ones arise. There are, however, some general topics that tend to be sources of strategic issues in many companies. Some areas that typically produce strategic issues are strategic focus, strategic competencies, culture modification/organizational change, resource limitations, strategic alliances/acquisitions/mergers/joint ventures, e-commerce products. Strategic focus. Normally, it is advantageous for you to address what should be our future strategic focus as your first issue, since strategic focus is the broad answer to the strategic questions: what are we going to sell and to whom? It is, therefore, fundamental to the resolution of many other issues. Strategic competencies. The companion issue is what strategic competencies will we require in the future? Since it deals with the major strategic question, how will we beat or avoid our competition, it will typically be the second strategic issue you handle. You want to assure consistency between your strategic competencies and strategic focus and recognize the high-level role played by strategic competencies in shaping your overall competitive advantage. You want to assure consistency between your strategic competencies and strategic focus and recognize a high-level role played by strategic competencies in shaping your overall competitive advantage. Resolving your strategic focus and strategic competencies issues first provides a tighter framework for discussing other strategic issues and appropriately narrows the field on decision alternatives you will consider acceptable. Culture modification/organizational change. Resource limitations. Strategic alliances/acquisitions/mergers/joint ventures. E-commerce products. The remaining strategic issues are addressed in priority order. The number you can handle is dictated by the time available. If 6 to 8 hours are available for strategic issues, you should be able to cover 10 to 15 different issues. Strategy is, at some level, the ability to predict what's going to happen, but it's also about understanding the context in which it is being formulated. And then you have to be open-minded to the fact that you're not going to get it right at the very beginning. Martin Dempsey. No plan of operations reaches with any certainty beyond the first encounter with the enemy's main force. Strategy is a system of expedience, it is more than a mere scholarly discipline. Helmuth von Moltke 1800-91